Put it down.
Of course. Tau Adair, isn't it?
I'm not here to talk.
What a shame.
Adair! Adair, are you receiving?
I'm here, Admiral.
No, you're not here. That is the problem. We were counting on you to stop an Imperial strike team on Ord-Trossi. They came in fast and overwhelmed ground security. Half their planetary defense grid is gone.
I'm sorry to hear that, Admiral, but this lead took priority.
Priority? Are you telling me your little antique hunt was more important to the Jedi than protecting Republic citizens?
Stopping Malgus will keep the Republic safe. We needed something to push our investigation forward. And I think I found it.
Well, I hope the price we paid was worth it. Rava out.
Get me the Battlemaster. It's urgent.
Would you look at that? Perfect timing.
Good, you're here. Didn't want to put this in anyone's hands but yours. Sorry. Some greasy Sith really didn't want me to have that.
Are you all right? I can take you to the med bay.
Don't worry about me. What you've got in your hands is way more important. That belonged to Darth Nul. Took us ages to find it, but it was worth it.
I'm sorry I wasn't there to help you.
You are helping. Why do you think I came straight here? Arn and the old man have been breaking their backs looking for patterns in what we know about Darth Nul, hoping to find another fortress. They must have read every report on Nul at least 20 times apiece. They finally narrowed it down to a few places that seemed like good candidates. We split up and started looking. I was the lucky winner, the one who knows the least about this stuff, but I'm hoping you can help me fix that.
I'm fortunate to have so many knowledgeable specialists on just about any subject. My science expert, Dr. Ogorov, may be able to help.
A science expert? Not what I was expecting to hear, but I'm open to anything at this point.
Oh, don't let him hear you say that. Not unless you want to volunteer for one of Doc's many new research projects.
Let's see if he can help us. But be ready for questions. He's going to want to know every detail about the place where you found this.
Come on. How bad can he be?
Not now, Sahar.
Just try. I know you have it in you.
That's not what your precious Jedi said.
It's what I'm saying.
Enough! I found my way without your sorcery. Hedda cut my slave collar with this. She gave me a choice. Die or fight back. I fought, and I excelled, Sahar. The day I became a Mandalorian, I knew I found my home.
I hoped you would find success. You always had fire.
I had little choice. Some earn what they have. Some are given everything.
And some lose it all.
You dare speak to me about suffering?
Even the best armor has flaws. Spaces between plates of Beskar steel where blood can be drawn. The events of Runuk have shown me our flaws. I planned for Shevisla to find us. She did. I challenged her and was nearly defeated. An outcome that was not expected. How could my plans so miss the mark? I asked myself. I looked and finally found my answer. Someone doesn't honor their agreements. Someone values credits over their own life.
Hey now! What's going on here?
Bask's son. With the right guidance, I had hoped your kind would be worthy of our cause.
Yeah, of course! That's always been the plan!
I learned that you used your pretty machines in the duel on Runuk. No doubt why Shay fared as well as she did.
What? No! It was the other way around. I wanted you to win. You beat Shay, we do this war thing, we all get rich.
So you used your machine on Shay, and she still bested me.
Yes! No, I'm not saying that. Okay, let me explain.
No need. Darmanda is our enemy. Because of him, we lost Runuk. Because of me, we gained a great deal more. Sahar, can you come up here? This one brought me something taken from the clutches of Darth Malgus. Something so powerful both the Sith and the Jedi race across the galaxy to claim it. With Sahar's help, we can unlock its secrets.
I told you, Hedda. We shouldn't do this. It's not safe.
You're right. It's never safe to change a galaxy. Never easy to fight corruption and hypocrisy. But your brother said you would face anything to restore balance. Each of you will gather the resources needed to make my vision a reality. You will have your assignments, but none will know the whole plan except myself and Sahar. At long last, we will take back what is ours.
So, I heard you ran into Sahar. Is she alright? Can't believe she's gotten herself mixed up in all that Mandalorian business.
There was so much chaos and confusion on Runic, and very little understanding. I couldn't do anything to convince Sahar to return. I know this must be hard for you.
I just wish I could tell her that Elam wasn't the end, that she'll always be welcomed back with open arms. You know, I barely even remember her mentioning a brother on Ossus. Now he's got her turning her back on us.
Over here! I do believe I found something. But first, you must tell me more about this containment device you encountered. What did it look like? How did it work?
I didn't get a chance to look closely at it or anything. I just know it was some kind of trap and that relic was in it.
Can you tell us about what you found? The longer I'm near the relic, the more unsettled I feel, whatever this was. It inflicted unthinkable suffering upon others.
Your perception is spot on, as usual. From the results, I can say with certainty that what you found is the remnant of a lightsaber. But there is more to the story.
What else did you find?
A very interesting clue. My equipment also found microscopic fragments of the lightsaber's power source. By all indications, the crystal used to construct the weapon originated in the Adika system.
That's where Ossus is. Jedi get crystals from the Adika system to build their lightsabers. We have for hundreds of years.
So why did Darth Nul have a lightsaber that was built like a Jedi's?
A very pertinent question.
Well, she was helping the Emperor control people through the Force, right? I'll bet she used those crystals in some horrible machine that hunted down Jedi and turned them into children of the Emperor.
What else could she have built with them?
In theory, the possibilities are limitless from all she seemed to know. Someone who does not shy away from knowledge, no matter its source, in order to create, to expand their awareness. It is admirable.
Null was controlling people's minds. Let's not pin any medals on her just yet. What do you think about talking to Malgus again? You've got something up your sleeve you didn't have last time.
We're getting closer to understanding how Darth Nul worked, but we still don't know what Malgus is trying to imitate. Not for sure, anyway. Maybe if I tell him about what we know, he'll open up, whether he means to or not.
I do not envy you having to attempt any sort of communication with that ill-tempered brute.
Thank you both for your help on this.
It has been my pleasure.
No problem. I'm going to let the old man know what we found. He and Arn will be dying to hear everything.
The chat you had with Dr. Ogura paints a better picture of what Malgus may have been up to. Darth Nul's work on mind control says a lot, but combining Sith and Jedi toys? That's big news. Malgus following in the footsteps of someone with Jedi connections is a plot twist I wasn't expecting.
And let's not forget Darth Nul's holocron falling into the hands of Heta Kol.
You never slow down, do you?
This coming from you. I've seen you charge into action more times than I can count. Though, truthfully, you're annoyingly adept at it.
Should I cough to remind both of you I'm here?
Not necessary. What we learned about Darth Nul's Jedi influence does give us something to go on, though admittedly not much.
Heads up. Looks like we have a special guest.
Tell these droids to get out of my way. I need to speak to Malgus.
They answer only to the Supreme Chancellor and cannot be overridden, Shay.
Some higher-up is all sweaty about my past contracts with Malgus. They've got no understanding of how those things work.
One of those contracts was destroying the defense grid on Coruscant during an Imperial invasion.
I was there to do a job. I did it and moved on. You should understand that. You and I have an understanding, but I owe no loyalty to the Republic or to the Empire, Malgus included.
Perhaps, but permission to interrogate the prisoner is restricted to a select few.
I'm going to find out if he's working with Hedda, with or without permission.
That's why I'm here. We all need to know more about his plan.
Don't you get it? With the holocron, Hedda is part of that plan, willing or not.
You weren't interested in the holocron when we ran into Sahar.
I wasn't, but I won't let Hedda use whatever's on there to hurt my people. So, what's it gonna be?
We'll work together on this.
Smart move.
Doesn't change the fact that Shay isn't on the VIP list.
Then put me on comms.
Comms? To listen in?
More than that. Shay can give advice during my questioning.
Malgus had a few bad habits when I worked with him. I'm betting they're still there. If you listen to me, we can trip him up.
Risky, but the situation calls for it.
At least we'll be in full control. If anything seems wrong, we can shut it down.
All right, everyone be on your guard. Time to pay our guest a visit. Ready?
Always.
Bottom line, threats are useless against Malgus. He fears nothing. You keep talking about putting an end to what he wants, and we'll get nowhere. Make him think you understand. That's the key to getting anything out of him.
If you explain to me what you hope to accomplish, maybe I can help you. Maybe there's another way to finish what you started. A way that others will accept.
Few minds can comprehend my vision.
There are none like you in the galaxy. But you are alone.
That is a strength. Attachment becomes weakness.
Good, he's talking. Risk a question.
I was surprised to learn that Hedda Cole was part of your plan.
She wasn't. My designs are much greater than her petty civil war. The Mandalorians are fractured, a broken people. They struggle to decide who they are. An endless cycle of waste and fodder. Useless.
Big talk from inside that cell.
I can understand how someone would think the Mandalorians are unreliable.
Watch it.
But I haven't once regretted having them as allies.
Not yet.
Slippery Chakarish. Okay, maybe Hedda wasn't part of his plan, but something sure as hell changed.
Do you still believe your plan will succeed without you? Is that why you let others carry the torch?
Strength begets strength. All else will wither and fade. Even you.
If my fate is already set in stone, then you might as well tell me what it is.
You are no different from anyone else. You will witness my reckoning. I will tear apart the corrupt systems that allow weakness to infect the galaxy. I will stop the rot. I will burn down all of their failing legacies, and see who embraces the flame.
More of his mystical Osic. What about the holocron? Does Hera have something she can use against my people?
Who whispers in your ear?
This is between you and me, Malgus.
It is too late. Your thoughts are plain to me, Mandalore the Avenger. Your rage consumes you. There was a battle, and your prey slipped through your fingers. Your people are divided, while Heta Kol gathers her army. You are right to come begging for answers. Heta will destroy you.
Where is she? Tinila Hutun! Answer me!
Can you not see it? The past looms over us all, a shadow of unchanging history. There are fools who believe they can outrun the shadow. Without a flame to chase it away, it will consume them. They are doomed to repeat the same failures. None who have stood by my side have understood this. The only one who could have is my enemy. A shame that you and I must remain that way.
Nothing lasts forever.
Greetings. I'm relieved you answered. I must make an unusual request.
What's going on? Is everything all right?
Yes. For the moment, I have been summoned by the three. What they had to say has left me disquieted. Meet me at these coordinates on Voss, and I will explain in greater detail.
I sent you to look into the origins of one of Darth Nul's relics. I haven't heard any updates.
What I found. It is best if I show you in person. I will await your arrival.
Boss. Well, at least it's nice this time of year.
We have enough mysteries to contend with without getting the Voss involved. They're not exactly known for being straightforward. Sana-rae sounded unlike herself. I do hope whatever she has to tell you isn't too troubling.
You're here. Sana-rae hoped you would come quickly.
Ri'kan, I wasn't expecting to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. I am glad to have returned. With something useful, I hope.
Sana-rae didn't tell me you'd be here. You caught me off guard.
I am sure it slipped her mind. She has been speaking to some other Voss about something, and she has seemed unsettled.
You have arrived. Good. I have been waiting to show you this. When we first uncovered the existence of Darth Nul, I could not imagine that tracing the origins of one of her relics would lead here. The strange ruins Ri'kan found on the planet in wild space. They were resistant to his presence for a reason.
But together we found something.
What you are about to see. Darth Nul possessed a talent that was unique among her kind. Through the Force, she could connect her mind to another's. Darth Nul could speak to someone's most hidden desires, reach depths of their thoughts they could not reach themselves. Over great distances, she could mentally bond with anyone who could feel the Force. In those who did not recognize their own abilities, she awakened that realization.
Sharing this knowledge was unacceptable to those around Darth Nul. She was ostracized, friendless.
Darth Nul took those who would follow her to an empty world in wild space, where they could do as they pleased, without judgment. Nul taught her disciples how to forge mental bonds as she did. They called out to others and invited them to their sanctuary.
But Darth Nul was careless. She made contact with someone she shouldn't have. The Sith Emperor, as he was then. He took advantage of her mistake. He ruthlessly pursued her.
Before the Emperor could reach her followers, Nul locked many of their secrets away in the ruins Ri'kan found. Nul and the others fought back against their captors, but their fate was sealed. The Emperor dominated the minds of her disciples, bent them to his will, enslaved them. After that day, Nul's followers became servants of the Emperor, and she became Darth Nul.
If the Emperor made her Darth Nul after she was captured, who was she before?
She was no one. At least, not after she was expelled from the Jedi Order.
Darth Nul didn't just build her lightsaber with Jedi resources. She was a Jedi.
For a time. The account of Darth Nul's removal from the Jedi is told from her own perspective. We do not know much about what transpired before that, other than what she was called, Master Renaya.
Every time we learn something about Darth Nul, it adds more pieces to the puzzle. And we still don't know what she did that inspired Malgus's plans.
But now the truth has come to light. If Malgus wanted to hide it forever, he failed.
All that you found about Darth Nul, why did I have to come to Voss to hear it?
After I heeded the Three's request to return to Voss, I heard whisperings. Rumors of a vision that caused great concern among the mystics. The Three forbade them to speak about what was seen. A revelation centered on Darth Malgus.
Why won't the Three let anyone know what's in this vision? It could be something that affects them.
Just as they refused to explain the contents of the vision, they refused to give a reason. It is their right. The Three know well the value you would place on hearing the details of this vision, but they would never share them with an outsider, even one of your status, unless you gave them a reason to.
Malgus's plans could mean the end of the galaxy as we know it. What more of a reason do they need?
Perhaps they think there is nothing in this vision that would help you. However, you have the opportunity to convince them otherwise. Despite our best efforts, some of our most sacred temples have yet to be rebuilt in the years since Valen's assault. The Shrine of Contemplation is too deep within Gormak lands, The work is slow, even with aid from the few Gormak who have chosen to continue their alliance with the Voss. The three are overseeing progress at the Shrine of Contemplation now. If you were to approach them and offer your assistance, perhaps you will change their minds about the vision. With luck, they will be receptive to one with your gracious reputation.
I will do anything I can to stop Malgus. If helping rebuild will get the three to share information, it's a small price to pay.
I'd like to speak with you for a moment, before you depart.
Here are the coordinates for the Shrine of Contemplation. I will send a message ahead to the commandos there to expect your arrival.
You wanted to speak to me about something?
All this talk of visions, it reminded me. Something strange happened while I was away. As I searched Darth Maul's ruins, every step I took felt so familiar. Like I had been there before.
Darth Null was captured from that place by the Emperor. Did your father, when he was Valkorion, did he ever return there?
If he had, he would have never allowed me to accompany him. Something I'm grateful for now. It was confusing, distressingly so. I was so certain I had stood on the surface of that empty world, even though I could not remember when or why. I spoke with Sana-rae about this sense of familiarity. It didn't take long before she understood what I was feeling. I was there, in those ruins, once before, during the ritual in the Shrine of Healing.
How is that possible?
I am unsure. This realization awakened other memories of what I saw while the Voss healed me. I believed they were dreams at the time, but Sana-rae believes otherwise. She says they were visions.
Visions of the future? Like the Voss mystics who performed your healing ritual?
Yes, the very same. In the ritual, the mystics infuse part of their spirit with yours. It is not uncommon for a mystic's gifts to be shared with the one they are cleansing. They open my mind to unreachable distances. The past. What may happen. What never will. In truth, it is all still a blur. It was as if I lived decades in the span of hours. I saw centuries worth of horrors committed by my father. I felt the rage and the cruelty born of my desperation to please him. The suffering and the devastation I caused, it was all made plain to me. When I learned what my father had done in Darth Maul's ruins, old fears resurfaced. I was afraid I saw those ruins because I was doomed to follow in his footsteps. But there were visions of hope as well, of serving a greater purpose. I saw the work I could do, how I could dedicate myself to atonement. Like helping you stop Darth Malgus. Reliving that vision, it reminded me that I have far to go before I can be forgiven for all that I inflicted upon others. If that is even possible. But I am moving in the right direction.
We can't know for certain when the things you've done will fade from memory, but you shouldn't give up. It will be difficult, but any journey worth undertaking is.
You're right. I have fought so many battles in my life. Only now I have found something worth fighting for. I don't think I could have ever seen things in this light without your help. There will never be enough I can do to thank you.
I had hoped the three's presence would encourage everyone to work harder,
Nothing has improved.
Give it time. The three will grow tired of the delay, and they will make it known.
Greetings. I am Maton Jah. This is Kodum. Sana-rae sent word that you would be joining us. You keep the company of strange associates. I wonder, is it a testament to your character? Together, we, the Shrine Restoration Initiative, have rebuilt much of the damage inflicted during the Eternal Empire's attack. Many shrines in the vicinity of Voska are fully restored. We understand that you hope for an audience with the three. They are here, but wholly consumed with seeing us expedite our work on the Shrine of Contemplation. Should you help us arrive at our goal? They have lost control of the excavation droids. That is troubling. Wait. Before one enters the Shrine of Judgment, one must be cleansed. The workers perform this ritual before entering the shrine. The outsider must do the same. The outsider will prevent any harm from coming to them. But unless the ritual is performed, desecration of the shrine is assured. Do not worry, friend. I will guide the outsider every step of the way. It will be quick. Go to the Altar of Clarity, at the edge of the settlement. I will guide you through the ritual.
This is the Altar of Clarity. To begin the ritual, gather sacred incense from those crates and burn it. Good. Now you must wash the ash from your hands. Use the basin. Thank you, outsider. You are free to enter the Shrine of Judgment.
Gilman Kotrava-Chetta, Vimta.
Thank you, outsider.
Oh no, maybe. Không khỏi thái.
Why is this happening?
Tran viemoni ho vabaka vihutroi kwatu fulam. Wamingwam ram jiwan kwamak gilan va. Ne so fonde ko naganeva eyak nagnan ni matan. Kundi tremoyo potkom masang. Kwai kong ni bao le ching tong doro ngao. Ni go wai tap wai chapamran. Kong ni wai he triole. Kum ni ko wai bam lui cho tai fai lai angkor sun nei lam sayo. Nei so fonde ko naganeva eyak nagnan ni matan. Gồm ní của hoài bàm lưu ý cho tai phai lại ăn gor xuân ấy làm sao. Vua Vaska, bàm kỳ nó cũng hàm trong hoàng lao, để cháu trọc xa. Này số phân đi cô nó có nhảy và đây các nặng nàn ni mà tàn. Nambo mong bon tulran ka thi, kumin mo ko namban. Kung sa boting naman ni Haulay Mayay. Kontray kua vai tram nam maya chong dito. Huawas ka, bam ki na kung ham trong wang lao, da chow trok siya. Nei so fun di ko naganyay va day at nagnan ni matan. Yet naman tatay lo voy Amok. Nei so fun di ko naganyay va day at nagnan ni matan. Kung ni ko huay bam luwi cho tai phai lại ăn gor sun ay lam sayo. Dan foi vutagan aknan cho katontay, ve begor ne sa fun. Mikooi tapwai chakanan. Kumangi wai he triole. Thanfoy vutagan achnan chok tontri. Vedegor nesafun. Huawaska, Pamki Kungkang Trongwan Lao, the Chow Traksha. Get that me, Troy Vondu Kupa Toy. Ne so fun, dear Konaka Neva Ayak Nagnan Nimatan. Huawaska, Pamki Kungkang Trongwan Lao, the Chow Traksha. Viva what Dingo Tangmu. Mikooi tapwai chakanan. Kumangi wai he triole. No hungry yak la mulo yumi. Vagi yuchep the tong truen. Thanfoy vutagan achnan chok tontri. Vedegor nesafun. Huawaska, Pamki Kungkang Trongwan Lao, the Chow Traksha. Mikooi tapwai chakanan. Kumangi wai he triole. Thanfoy vutagan achnan chok tontri. Vedegor nesafun. Onding trang vindong fa nangirich mung kumodiwa. Kumniku wai ban lui chotai fai layam gor sun ei layam sayo. Kontrai chua vai tram nam maya chong dito. Ne so fun, dear Konaka Neva Ayak Nagnan Nimatan. Mikooi tapwai chakanan. Kumangi wai he triole. Vaidelen dang korkadi lavat.
Muaksa sumak dem kuwa.
Eyes on the floor. Do you hear me? We can't have you running around messing things up. What did I just say about not moving? Stay put. It's for your own good. Heads up, we got an intruder! Stand down now! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! I don't have time for this!
Den Vutagan Achnan Choktontai, Vebegor, Nesafun. Nigo Wai Tapwai Chakaman. Kongi Wai Hetriole.
Lumbo Muambun Tuturulan, Katehe Kumni Mu Konamban. Kumdue Jiwai Mam Lui Chao Tapai, Luengor Senau Lam La Sao.
Kumniku Wai Bam Lui Chotai Fai Liangor Sun Nei Lam Sao. Nei så fundi konga neva eak nagnan ni matan. Nigo wai tapwai chakama. Kongi wai hetriole. Kumniku wai bam lui chotai fai liangor sun nei lam sao. Nei så fundi konga neva eak nagnan ni matan. Den Vutagan Achnan Choktontai, Vebegor Nesafun. Vet no what dingo tango. Huavaska. Bam givna kungham trongwan lao, the chow troksha. Nei så fundi konga neva eak nagnan ni matan. Den Vutagan Achnan Choktontai, Vebegor Nesafun.
We are trying to repair the droids as quickly as we can, but their reprogramming has been extensive. It is complex work.
Kumniku wai bam lui chotai fai liangor sun nei lam sao. Nei så fundi konga neva eak nagnan ni matan. Unding trang vindung fa lengirich mung kumudiwa. Lam duak vikong ropa langid na kakamaki. Den Vutagan Achnan Choktontai, Vebegor Nesafun.
There is a considerable amount of Gormak technology in this. How did the invaders come to possess this?
Huavaska, Bam givna kungham trongwan lao, the chow troksha.
I appreciate your honesty. The actions of a few should not reflect the will of all Gormak. The truce stands firm.
Bongyan the young Buddham shade to Gai Kuka.
You are correct. The next step is to learn all we can about them. Our researchers will study this device and divine its purpose. Doing so will allow us to track the invaders and avoid unnecessary destruction.
Kumniku wai bam lui chotai fai liangor sun nei lam sao.
Your actions have given us leverage in this fight, but the harm done has been extensive. Our work in the Shrine of Contemplation was already behind. Zerka's presence has thrown the reconstruction into chaos. Some damage can be repaired. But if we cannot complete the restoration, it will leave a lasting scar. Until the work has resumed, the three will not turn their attention to you. Your offer to help is a telling display of empathy for both the Gormak and the Voss. I want you to understand why all this is so critical to us. You were born with the ability to wield the Force. You were trained by another. You learned how to control it, how to use it. It is now a natural extension of who you are, just as it is a natural extension of my people. Now, imagine you are part of a society that works to hone your abilities to a greater purpose. Our shrines are built for this singular purpose. But now those shrines, built over generations, are destroyed, reduced to rubble by the Eternal Empire. In that moment, it was as if our eyes were shut. We were cut off from our purpose. We do not restore buildings. We ignite our purpose once more. Until we find that light again, everything else, the invaders, the truce, the relics, is secondary. You have more than earned the right to understand. But we cannot sit idle during this time. We need help in ways other than stopping the invaders. Offer your skills, and the three will notice. Do you understand? The importance of what they do cannot be understated. Now, I must update the three on the situation. They will be understandably curious about how the invaders obtained Gormak technology.
Nu hung yek la muloymi vagi yuchep the tongue truen. Huavaska bam ki ngungham tromwan lao the chow troksha. Vaidelen dang gorkate lavat. Ang pak ginoto min fu dronchin trankan. Dan foi vutagan achnan chok tontai. Vebegor nesafun.
Considerable damage when the invaders attacked. They are lucky so many survived.
We are lucky they survived. Our work will not succeed without them.
The Fountain of Purity is functional again. I thought you would be pleased to hear it.
Thank you for letting me know. I hope the repairs last longer than the previous time.
Welcome to the Shrine of Judgment, and please pardon the dust. While restoration is in progress, we hope you enjoy this trial version of my audio tour program. Follow closely and watch your step.
Judgment is one of the Voss Interpreter's most crucial tenets, and this shrine, one of the oldest in our world, has long been an important pilgrimage destination for many interpreters in training. In this chamber, there was once a mural of a popular parable, which served as a lesson for many young Voss who walked the path toward interpreting visions. Please approach the tablets to continue. There once was a young Voss, the only in his family to survive the brutality of a Gormak assault. He began to see visions, so other Voss proclaimed him their mystic. Though he was untrained, the others followed his judgment in all things. In one vision, he saw a Mavor covered in blood, so he ordered a hunt. All the creatures were decimated. In another vision, the mystic saw an outsider holding a tablet under his cloak. To protect the sacred relics of Voss, he ordered all outsiders banned from his village. In his third vision, the young mystic saw his friend attack another Voss whose back was turned. He sentenced the attacker to a life of hard labor. The fourth vision lasted for 3 days, during which time the young mystic was unresponsive. In this vision, he saw the truth of those he had hastily condemned. He saw that the blood-covered Mavor had killed no Voss. She was a mother protecting her pups from a predator. The outsider stole no relics. He was returning one thought lost forever. And finally, to the mystic's great shame, he saw that his friend was no assailant. He was helping another Voss who had been choking. From that day, the mystic learned that any action taken from his visions required caution and patience. He learned to seek counsel from his fellow Voss, who took on the role of the interpreters.
Thank you for participating in the trial phase of the Shrine of Judgment audio tour. Due to lack of resources, any feedback you provide cannot be addressed at this time. However, I do hope your experience was educational and fun.
You have our sincere thanks. As to our ongoing Zerka problem, our researchers have some information on the device you recovered. They confirm the purpose of the device, to locate objects touched by the Force. Perhaps this explains why you sensed something strange about it. Why would an arms dealer like Zerka hire mercenaries to find these items? Why risk war for a remote chance of finding something they cannot use? An ugly thought, but I accept the truth of it. Once we became aware of what the device can do, we feared what Zerka might find in the depths of the Shrine of Contemplation. You should begin your search for the invaders there. Stop Zerka, and bring anything you find back to us. Do this for us, and your audience with the three will be secured.
You do good work. How you handled my incompetent colleagues back there. Beautiful. It will save me a lot of paperwork when I report back to Zerka. You are correct, though I confess, it does get me into trouble at times. But let me explain the situation, with a little added detail. The Voss keeps all kinds of dangerous objects lying around. That's why we're both here, yes? We know some would make powerful weapons, in the right hands. The Gormak understand this. I do have to hand it to them. Their ways with technology are impressive, second only to Zerka. They could turn the right artifact into a new balance of power. Very noble, but I am here for quite the opposite. What you have there is the prize. It's a record of the Jedi's influence on the ancient Voss. Normally, I don't need an armed escort to retrieve historical documents, but in the right hands, this one could severely undermine the truce. We get the Voss and Gormak fighting again. This world is open to Zerka operations, weapon sales. Oh, the possibilities are endless. It was easy. Everything is, when you know the right people. Now, I do need to be on my way, so I'm going to hand this chat over to my good friends here. It's been a pleasure.
Did you speak to Makif about the broken relics? I will visit him later. Perhaps he will take your words to heart if he hears them from both of us. I understand, but this relic is not mine to give. However, in return for your service, any information your order seeks from this record, it is theirs. I swear it. The same offer is extended to you, Kodum. Of course not. There is still much to do. Thank you. It would have been disastrous if outsiders possessed this. As am I. It reinforces my enthusiasm for all that is left to do. I look forward to hearing them. Kodum is right. You have done much to be commended for, outsider. The three have taken notice of the progress the initiative has regained. They know who deserves the credit for this accomplishment. Then you should collect the fruits of your labor. You are granted the audience you seek, and I am proud to have helped you earn it. Whatever knowledge you pursue, I hope you find it. May the words of the three guide you to your victory.
It is time. The three have asked you to appear before them. Your actions have left an impression, a rare achievement. They are waiting for you now.
You aren't coming with me?
It would be best if you went alone. There are some questions I have yet to resolve with the three.
What are you talking about?
When the Eternal Empire threatened the galaxy, my presence in your alliance was understandable, but much has changed. The Outsiders' wars no longer concern Voss. We have our own struggles. The three want to know why I do not return and continue my duties as a mystic. Do you recall when I told you we had fulfilled my vision for the Force Enclave? That was the last of my visions that had been deciphered by an interpreter, and the first step toward acting on my own decisions, and a Voss who chooses to remain with outsiders is a Voss who is forever looked upon with doubt.
I had no idea you chose us over your own people. That must have been difficult. But I'm glad you stayed.
It was a simple choice. You have given me the opportunity to lead, to help others face uncertainty. That is a greater purpose than I ever found as a mystic. I have kept you too long. The three will be wondering what has delayed you.
Outsider, do you understand the importance of this meeting?
This isn't my first audience with the three. I met with your predecessors without incident. I think this will go just as well.
I am inclined to agree. I believe you are worthy of the knowledge we plan to share. There has been a vision. Its contents are disturbing.
Life will be reshaped. Scales unbalanced.
A wave of change rises and falls, beyond the reach of Darth Malgus.
And as he dreams, he awakens a great power, one that will tear the galaxy apart.
If you know all that, you must know a way to help me stop Malgus.
It is not so simple.
Should Darth Malgus perish, this catastrophe will transpire more quickly.
I don't understand why you're keeping this vision a secret.
To protect Voss.
You are familiar with the visions experienced by our mystics. The role these prophecies play?
What your mystics see is very important to your people. Your government, your societal rules, everything relies on these visions.
And from these revelations, the interpreters show us the path, the decisions we must make to preserve our home, our way of life.
But in this vision, we see no outcome. There is nothing to guide us. The interpreters are united in its meaning.
The three, the Voss. We can do nothing. We are powerless.
This shrouded prophecy will come to pass. The foundations will be shaken, the pillars raised. The chaos is unavoidable. But whatever is to come from this, it is you who will choose the fate of us all.
Our destiny is in the hands of an outsider. Do you see why we shield our people from this?
Calm your fears. I will do everything in my power to protect Voss from what you've seen. You have my word, as a sworn defender of peace.
A grand assurance. We will hope it amounts to more than that.
Whatever part you play in this, enemy or ally, none of it will happen without you. You must be ready. We will be waiting.